Hello and welcome to week 18 of the Country Garden Crochet Along, and this week we're making the diamond stitch to carry on the trellis-like panels around our centre. So this one really needs you to keep count, but once you get past the first 3 rows it becomes much easier. So how do we make it?
Okay, so we're going to start by joining into the second corner stitch. So this is on the long side, so I'm working above the tulip stitch this week. So we join in and chain 1 to secure it, then in that same stitch make a single crochet. And now we're going to make a single crochet in each stitch across until we get to the other side. So there's nothing different in this one, it's just single crochet in every single stitch. Nice and simple for row 1. And we're going to do that until, if I just bring this in, we get to the other corner and your last single crochet will be in the same stitch that we started the colourwork arrow panel. Okay, so that's going to be in the same stitch as there. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this row and I shall be back in a moment. Okay, so I've done that last single crochet in the same stitch as our colourwork arrow, and now I'm going to turn. Okay, so turn, chain 1, and in that first stitch make a double crochet turning chain. Okay, so row 2 is another nice easy row. You're just going to double crochet in every stitch. So these 2 rows are setting up the foundations for when we start our arrow stitches. They're made in a very similar way to the arrow stitch. It's just that instead of working into unused stitches, we're going to be working around posts. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this row. So you just double crochet in every single stitch, and I shall see you when I get to the end of this row, and in row 3 we'll start making our diamonds. Okay, so I finished row 2 and I've turned, and then I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet in the first stitch. Okay, so now we need to start making our diamonds. Okay, so next we're going to make a treble crochet. I'm going to be working in around the posts of the single crochets in row 1. So this first stitch is where we've made our first stitch, so ignore that one and skip the next 2 stitches as well. So you're going to be making your treble around the 4th single crochet in row 1 and just work it around the post. There we go. And it'll be a nice diagonal. Okay, so back to our current row. So we've done the first stitch here. This unused stitch is where is our treble. And so we work into the next stitch, make a single crochet, and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches as well. Okay, so now we need to make a front post 2 together. Okay, and we're going to be working back around the same single crochet that we made our last front post treble in. So working around the same stitch, you make part of the treble. So yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops, leave the last 2 loops on your hook, yarn over twice again. So going back to the post that we just made the first part of the stitch round, skip the next 3 single crochet, and then you're going to make The next part of the stitch round the next single crochet after that. Okay, and again as a treble. And when you've got 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over and pull through. Okay, so we're making it in a very similar way to the arrow stitch. It's just that instead of working into unused loops where we skipped a stitch, we're working around the post instead. Okay, so there's our last stitch. That's the stitch our treble sits in front of. So in the stitch after that, we make a single crochet and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches as well. And 2. So you're always going to have 3 single crochet between each of your treble stitches. And then we repeat across the row. So yarn over twice. We're going to work around the same post that we finished our last treble stitch, and we're going to make the first part of a treble, leaving the last 2 loops on your hook, yarn over twice again, skip the next 3 single crochet, and then make the second part around the next post. When you have 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, and then repeat. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and I shall come back to you when we get to the end. Okay, so I've got to the end of the row, and I finished on a full treble 2 together. There's no half stitch at the end. So though we started the row with a half stitch, we don't finish the row with one. Okay, so you'll get this stitch at the end. And then in the last 3 stitches, I made a single crochet. So once we've done that, we can turn and we'll begin the next row. So the next row is a double crochet row. So we turn, we chain 1, I'm going to make your double crochet turning chain in the first stitch. Let's put my stitch marker in there. And this row is simply double crochet in every single stitch. So it's a repeat of row 2. Okay, and you're just going to double crochet in every stitch across. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and I shall see you when we get back to the end. Okay, so I finished my row double crochet and I've turned, and now I'm going to chain 1 and make a single crochet in the first stitch. Just grab my stitch marker. Okay, so now I'm going to double single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Okay, so 3 single crochet to start that row. Now we're going to make the top half of our diamonds. So wrap around your hook twice for a treble crochet, and we're going to be working around the treble post here. Okay, so get your hook around that post, and we're going to make the first part of our treble. Leave the last 2 loops on your hook, wrap around twice again, and we're going to go through both the posts for this treble 2 together. So you go around both sets and make the second part of the stitch. When you've got 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And that is your diamond completed. Okay, so that unused stitch there is where our diamond is in front of, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3. So now we're going to make the top of our next diamond. So yarn over twice, and the same post that we worked around a second ago, we're going to work around again. So this is done the same way as before, it's just like you're going around 2 posts rather than 1. And yarn over again and go through the next 2 posts and finish that stitch. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So we're going to finish the diamonds all the way across. Okay, there's the front of our treble 2 together, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. I'm going to repeat that all the way across. So after the 3 single crochet, I'm going to make another treble 2 together, going around both the posts that we just finished in. Make the first part of your stitch, leave 2 loops on your hook, yarn over twice, move over to the next 2 posts, get your hook beneath those, and just work around it. And then pull through the last 3 stitches. We'll get those lovely diamonds working up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and I shall come back to you at the end. So I've completed my last treble 2 together, and I've done the 3 single crochet afterwards, and that leaves me with 2 stitches left. So for our next stitch we're going to make a front post treble crochet. So yarn over twice and go around that last set of posts, and we're just going to make a treble, and then single crochet in the last stitch. Okay, and that's row, where are we, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, row 5. Easy to lose track a bit with this. Okay, so the rest of this piece is a repeat of rows 2 to 5. Okay, there are 10 rows in total, so you're going to have 2 sets of these diamonds, so we've got 1 more set to make. And then row 10 will be a double crochet row. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this panel, and I shall come back to you once I've finished row 10. Okay, so I've finished row 10 and I've woven in all my ends. You can see we end on a double crochet row, and you've got 2 full sets of diamond rows. This beautiful pattern. So that's it for this week, and I shall see you next week for week 19. Bye for now.